Chuck Barris. That was, of course, we were interrupted by Gene the Dancing Machine. He was a regular fixture. Now, where did you find Gene?
The band was playing, and I saw Gene. He was a stagehand. He was working, cleaning up the stage and doing his little shuffle, doing that little dance. And I said, Gene, you got to do that on the air, and the rest is history. You know, Gene and I go out to the baseball game at Dodger Stadium, and everybody yells, "Yale, Gene!" Nobody even knows I'm there.
Did he cop an attitude after that? So yeah, you're not going to clean up the studio anymore?
No. But he began wearing an ascot. That's the truth. And I said, Gene, I don't think that. Get rid of that.
Now you also created the dating game.
Yeah.
And you had a lot of celebrities actually in the dating game. Some of them actually lost, right?
Yeah. Well, Tom Selleck lost twice. You know. That says something about.
Was he real
Tom,
nerdy back then?
He was good looking. He just didn't have a lot to say. But we had Arnold Schwarzenegger was on the show. Burt Reynolds, I'm not sure he won either. Michael Jackson did the show when he was 5 years old and spoke to 3 little girls. Groucho Marx did the show when he was not 5 years old and he spoke to other women. Everybody seemed to just come through the show at that time.
Now, were the dates on that show? They always used to say that there's a chaperone.
Yeah.
Was there a chaperone?
Yeah, there had to be. I mean, these two, the couple would go off to Rome or Paris, and you just couldn't go alone. I mean, it's not allowed. And the networks, said, "What are you going to do about it?" So, well, we'll send employees. I'll send people who work for me. And they'll be 21 years old or older, I swear. And they would go off with these dates. And, most of the time, the chaperone and the date were having more fun than the date and the date. But,
They wouldn't hit it off much?
No, the dates rarely, well, most of the time the dates didn't hit it off that
Did Schwarzenegger have a good date?
I don't think he went, but I don't even know if he did. But there was a great many stories about those chaperones that I don't even hear about. They refused to tell me. But that was a dating game.
All right. Well, no, but what about the kiss? Did you invent the kiss at the end of the dating game?
Yeah,
that was your invention?
That was it. The great thing about the dating game and newlywed game were they were the first game shows that we did that were spontaneous. I mean, there were no set answers, and when you gave those answers, you lived by the sword, you died by it. Either they were funny or you didn't want to hear about them.
Well, that's what I mean. In the newlywed game, apparently, when you first started doing it, you had people were saying things that you just couldn't even use on the air. It was really dirty at the beginning.
No, that was a dating game. I couldn't understand it. We had these Doris Day-looking girls and great-looking guys, and they're wholesome and clean-cut, and they said the dirtiest things I ever heard in my life. I had no idea to this day why, and I didn't know how to stop it. And our first 5 shows were taped, and we couldn't use them. They were unairable, and I had what looked like the shortest career in television.
This was your first show?
First show, first 5 shows.
Uh-huh.
I mean, the most ridiculous things were being said. So I had a dream. This is kind of a true story. Kind of a true story. I had a dream, and I dreamt that this guy came into the room where the contestants were, and he wore a trench coat and a hat. Mm-hmm. He said, "I'm from the FBI, and if you continue to say these terrible things, you'll go to jail for 10 years, and you'll pay a $10,000 fine because it's against federal regulations to say licentious things on the air." And I thought, that was a pretty good idea when I woke up. So I hired an actor, and I gave him a coat and a hat, and he said that for weeks. Every night, he would tell the contestants that.
To clean it up.
Yeah, and they never said a word. I mean, they were pure, clean as could be.
Well, there are famous, they're almost like urban legends. I mean, I've heard of exchanges on the dating game or the newlywed game that are, incredibly bizarre.
Oh, that's true.
Are there any favorites of yours that come to mind?
Well, I don't know. Most of the favorites of mine I really can't say. I always love where will your husband say the sun rises in your neighborhood? And the wife said, well, our bed is north. It's because our bed faces north. But you can see that goes over everybody's head. But then the sun always rises in the west. We always do that.
Right.
The one about what would your husband say is his favorite condiment on his wiener? Ketchup, said the first one. Mustard, Ben Gay. I could never understand that. You know. But anyway, and it went on like that. But that was the beauty of spontaneity.
Yeah.
I guess.
Do you like these new shows now, like Studs and things like that? Are you a fan of those shows?
No, I don't know. I mean, I can't say things about other people's shows.
Right.
That's their stuff. But I love doing the ones I did.
Right.
It was fun.
All right. Well, listen, thanks very much for coming by. I appreciate it. We'll be right back.